I am going to sing here in a second. It's just me, so if you know this one, you can join me. Seed of Hope. There's a seed of hope in my soul, a little seed of hope in my soul. I'm gonna tend it every day so that it grows strong. Oh, this I pray. Then that seed of hope soon will bloom in my soul. If you pick that up, the next word is joy. There's a seed of joy in my soul, a little seed of joy in my soul. I'm gonna tend it every day so that it grows strong. Oh, this I pray. Then that seed of joy soon will bloom in my soul. Next is peace. There's a seed of peace in my soul, a little seed of peace in my soul. I'm gonna tend it every day so that it grows strong. Oh, this I pray. Then that seed of peace soon will bloom in my soul. Last one is love, the whole point of today. There's a seed of love in my soul, a little seed of love in my soul. I'm gonna tend it every day so that it grows strong. Oh, this I pray. Then that seed of love soon will bloom in my soul, in my soul. Thank you.
Let us come into this place and settle into this time together, this time with people who share our values and wish us well. There's a meme that goes around social media every couple of years that is the question to describe your profession badly. And my favorite answer for a clergy person is, I get a whole bunch of people together and we talk about what it means to be a good person, but I'm not that good at it, so we have to do it again every week. And it's not about me not being good at it. It's about, we know for real that we need to be together. It is hard to be a person. We are presented with lots of challenges all the time, and how do we choose love again and again? And a lot of that work and a lot of our strength comes from this time together, whether it's having the lyric from a song reverberate in our brain, whether it's knowing that there are other people here who are in a similar position or facing similar struggles or trying to choose what is most loving. It is hard, and we need to keep doing this, keep having this practice of togetherness to be able to live out our values. So this is one more in the unending series of gatherings that help us do that. Come, let us gather together. Come, let us worship together.
Good morning. My name is Donna McClurkin, and I'm here as a member of the Sunday Services Committee. Welcome to all of you joining us for today's service, those of you in person, on Zoom, or later on YouTube. A special welcome is extended to newcomers and visitors here in the Commons and virtually. We are so glad you're here. We gather in this space to learn what it means to be in relationship, what it means to be human, and what it means to be Unitarian Universalist. Let us now move into worship, authentic and curious, with compassion and open to connection in all its forms.
And as we begin, a few announcements. First, it is time to have a very low-stakes election in our congregation. The names for our jet pig have been gathered, And the church staff have narrowed it down to 5. Voting is live now. And we are doing this as a ranked choice election because that's a good thing to practice, right? So you rank them in order of preference. The options for this being are Beacon, Bartlett, Schuyler, Mr. Zoom, or J. Piglet. So the results will be announced 2 weeks from today, and the ballots are available online in your church, the church weekly email, and there are paper ballots in the foyer, and we even have I voted stickers for you. So after you've cast your ballot, you can grab one of those stickers and wear it proudly. Today, after the service, is our first Inquirer Series class of this church year. So this is our class for newcomers and everyone else who might want to learn more about this congregation. This session today is a question and answers with me. So bring your questions. And we have more food than we have people registered. So if you are free today at 12:30 and want to have a snack and have a chat, please come. It's at 12:30. It's in room 6-7, which is that way. And we'll see you there, I hope. This Thursday at 6:30 p.m. is the Isaac public meeting. So Isaac is a group of several dozen congregations and community organizations that work together for justice and equity in our community. And this is one of their big, large-scale events. So at this meeting, we'll be hearing from elected officials and candidates. So a meet and greet with candidates starts at 6:30, and the program begins at 7. And we will be asking these candidates and these elected officials to make commitments around our priorities of anti-racism, housing, gun violence prevention. And the more people who are present, the better able we are to hold them accountable to those commitments. So it really matters. Every person's presence makes it easier and more compelling for those leaders to do the thing they say they're going to do. So please come Thursday, 6:30 p.m. at Galilee Baptist Church. I will see you there. I hope you are there with me. Next Sunday, we will be celebrating Halloween here at church. So I will be preaching on Satan and evil. The music will be incredible. Please come for the music. And I encourage you to dress in costume. It should be a joyful day. And now here's Lori with some announcements about the bazaar.
Good morning. My name's Lori Roop, and my role in the bazaar is to coordinate all the wonderful goodies that people contribute to the People's Specialties tables, full of homemade snacks and handcrafted items. We've got a little slideshow to answer your questions and to inspire you to make more goodies. So let's watch that together now. Yeah. That's why I'm here. Okay, so you saw that red bar on the right. Thank you to Dolores for the slides. So the people's specialty items, things that we make, are in the lobby out there during the sale, and it's always a big seller, but we always sell out. And this year, we're beefing up publicity and expect to have more customers than ever before, so we need more goodies to sell. And the message then is make more of what you love to make and get creative. It's not all about cookies and pot holders. They sell really well. But last night, I made some caramel corn and some Christmas mix and some candied nuts. And I think items like that will sell really well as well. So stop by the sign-up table that's in the lobby. Pick up a handout. We've got one for craft items and one for snacks. And it has all the information that you need to donate. So sign up to donate, or don't sign up. If you show up on Friday or Saturday with goodies to donate, we'll welcome you with welcome arms, open arms either way. So that's it for people's specialties. We also need more pasties volunteers, and there are sign-up sheets on the table in the lobby for that for the next 3 weekends. So if you can spare a few hours, please sign up to make pasties. It's a lot of fun and a great way to meet people. We're also beefing up our yard sign campaign this year. The artists have agreed to post our signs in their venues, and so if we can get 20 more signs, we can really expand our reach all over the county. And so there's a sign-up sheet to sponsor a sign. And then one more thing, Rick's Riders, starting on November 5th, Election Day. On the 5th, 6th, and 7th, they'll be riding around town putting up signs. It's one of the few things you can sign up for that doesn't require baking, and there's a sign-up sheet in the lobby. So thank you for all the wonderful things that you do and all that you donate, and we're looking forward to a really great bazaar on the 23rd.
All right, I invite everyone to rise and body your spirit to sing our opening song together. I gotta find it. There it is. Though I may speak with bravest fire and have the gift to all inspire, and have not love, my words are vain as sounding brass and hopeless gain. Though I may give all I possess, and striving so my love profess, but not be given by love within, the profit soon turns strangely thin. Come, Spirit, calm our hearts' control. Our spirits long to be made whole. Let inward love guide every deed. By this we worship and are freed.
I'd like to invite DeForest Lonberg up here to light our chalice. And just a reminder, if you are lighting a chalice at home, we invite you to type in the chat box, a chalice is lit in your street or your neighborhood or whatever. Our chalice lighting words today are from the UUA bylaws. Love is the power that holds us together and is at the center of our shared values. We are accountable to one another for doing the work of living our shared values through the spiritual discipline of love.
in addition to our chalice flame here at People's Church, we have chalice flames kindled in Kalamazoo Township, in the Millwood neighborhood, on Munson Lake near Grand Junction, and in Edmonds, Washington. What a gift it is to be together in time, even when we are not all together in one place. Now I'd like to invite our children forward for a story. Oh, come on up, Sai. Oh, that does twirl incredibly well, Ollie.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to get my spot back. Maybe I'll be right here, just in the middle. Yeah? You look great.
I'm a girl today.
I love that you're a girl today. What a gift that we can be exactly who we are in this congregation. Okay, I'm so glad you're all here with us. And today we're going to tell a story, and I'm going to need your help a little bit. This is a old story from a Jewish tradition called Two Brothers.
Two brothers?
Yeah, two brothers. It's about two brothers.
Me.
Are you a brother?
Yeah.
Nice. And so,
Tanner.
oh, yep, and he's your brother too, huh?
Yeah, he
Yep,
is.
some of us are brothers, some of us are not.
I'm a brother of my other brother.
You're a brother of your brother? Yeah, that's how it works usually. That's pretty awesome.
Sister.
And you're a sister of your brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, what about you?
I have an older sister that I get to see today after church, and she's 14 now.
Nice, you get to see your older sister today after church. I love that.
Turned 14
She's
a couple of days ago.
To be English.
Okay, so let's tell this story. So you see I have two baskets over here.
Yeah, what's up?
Well, this is to represent the two farms that these brothers live at. They live at farms right next to each other. They are brothers and they are neighbors.
I
And-
can be our neighbor.
Yeah, the
I
brothers.
can after their house.
Yep. And as they grew up and became grown-ups, one of the brothers got married and had a family and a whole bunch of kids and was very happy that way. And the other brother didn't get married and didn't have kids and lived by himself and was very happy that way. Because we know that's how it is for different people. But one night, neither of them could sleep. It was the harvest time. They had just put up all their harvest. And in this story, we're pretending those shaker eggs are the harvest. And so the brother who has the big you're a brother too?
I'm real.
Okay, I love that. So, please, let's stay away from the fire. Thank you, friends. So, the brother who had the big family said, "Oh, I'm worried about my brother who lives all by himself. He doesn't have as many people to take care of him, and I think he'll need to sell his harvest at the market and have enough money to get everything that he needs and everything." So that brother who had the big family, he took a bunch of his harvest and carried it over and dumped it in his neighbor's barn. Would someone be willing to do that? Oh, Grace, could you pick up that basket? And he took it to his neighbor's barn.
All of it?
Some of it. Okay.
And then?
Okay, and then he did that in the middle of the night when no one could know. But then the next night, the brother who lived alone was thinking about how his brother has such a big family and needs to care for all of them, and so he needs more in his barn and to sell at the market. And so, Nilo, do you know what I'm going to ask?
Yes.
That he went and took some of his harvest and put it in his brother's barn. Can you pour some of it back? Yeah.
And then the haunted house here.
Oh, yeah, okay.
There's a haunted house, I mean, up here.
And these brothers kept doing this night after night after night. And they got very confused because they thought they knew how much was in their barn, but then it kept changing overnight because they kept trying to be so generous to their brother. And then one night, both brothers took their items. I need 2 people to be brothers. Oh, May and I think Sophie this time, okay? So can one of you go to one side and one of you go to the other? And they got their baskets and they started sneaking across the field in the middle of the night. And then they ran into each other. Can you show us that? And maybe drop some on the ground? Wah! Nice. Good job. Okay, you guys can put your baskets back. We'll clean that up in a moment. And they said to each other, "What are you doing? Why are you sneaking across to give me more food in my harvest? I thought that's what I was doing for you." And then they understood why the amount of stuff in their barns kept changing. But they talked about it more and they said, "This is silly. We don't need to be sneaky about this. How about we just decide that whatever is going to happen, whether we have a big family or a small family, we're just going to take care of each other. So we don't need to try to sneak around. We can just promise to care for each other and ask for help when we need it." And that's what they decided to do. So they took good care for each other. Everyone in the family, the brothers, the children, had enough. And that is our story. A story about being generous and caring for one another. So, do you have a thought?
I have a thought that I think that's really sweet because I've been generous to people in my class.
Oh, it is. So it is important to be generous. And look at you guys. I didn't even have to ask you to help clean up. And you are generously helping us all. Thank you. And now it is time to sing you to your classes.
Except me.
Oh, yes, our high schoolers, our 7th graders on up are staying in this room today because before you go and visit other congregations and learn about what they do in their worship services, you should remember what we do in ours. So you're in with us for but everybody 6th grade and younger is going to their classes. Thank you for that reminder, Grace.
Go forth in peace in search of wisdom, with love to guide you on your way, and may the joy of life surround you wherever you may go. Go forth in peace in search of wisdom, with love to guide you on your way, and may the joy of life surround you wherever you may go.
People's people are generous people. And one of the ways that we are generous here is once a month we send our offering baskets beyond the walls of our church to do good and important work in the world. Today we are sending our money out to support the Unitarian Universalist Association Disaster Relief Fund. And we are very lucky in that the administrator, or one of the administrators of that fund, lives in Kalamazoo. So Lisa Presley, I invite you to come on up and tell us about this good and important work. And I invite all of you to be as generous as you are able.
Thank you, Rachel. Yes, I am Lisa Presley. I am a member of the Congregational Life Staff Group of the Unitarian Universalist Association. I live 2 blocks from Rachel, I think. A couple blocks from Dan. I don't know if there are any other West Main Hill folks in here, but, you know, we're neighbors. I hope to see you in my garage, putting in things there, and I'll put things in your garage. All right. One of the best parts of my job at the UUA is to be the chair of the Disaster Relief Fund. It is the best part because it allows me to help congregations have hope again. I didn't know I was going to choke up about this. So the National Disaster Relief Fund was created in 2017. Before that, whenever there was a disaster, each little area would pop up with a campaign to try to get money to help out. We realized that it would be smarter to have one fund, and that we then wouldn't always have to wait for people to respond before we could respond. The fund is, the money in the fund comes from individual Unitarian Universalists and from congregations. It is not part of the UUA's budget. Since 2017, we have managed to give out $1.6 million to congregations and their communities who have needed help. Now, in February last year, we got to the lowest level ever in the fund, and we only had about $30,000 or $40,000 that we could give out. And so we had to stop offering grants. And then storms, Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton came. Thankfully, we immediately put out a call, and people answered. Now, just over 3 weeks later, we have received $167,000 from congregations. But that's just a drop in the bucket. We still, in North Carolina, there are still over 6,000 people without power. Asheville, there are still communities that do not have running water in their homes. In North Carolina, there are over 6,900 parts of the roads that need to be fixed, and 623 roads still closed. Now, we don't have anything to do with those destroyed roads or that, but what we do with the fund is we give money to congregations for 3 different reasons. They get to choose which and how they do this in their congregation, but it's to help them restore their buildings or their grounds. One of our congregations had trees through the roof of their building during all that rain, which of course resulted in damage and mold and all of that kind of stuff. They're also allowed to share the money with their members who have needs. We have people who have lost cars, have lost homes, have lost countless goods and many of their precious items. And they're also allowed to use those funds to support their wider community, to give especially to those in their community who may not be able to have access to FEMA or other funding. And so because we had that little bit of money there, we were immediately able to give out mini grants of $3,000 to congregations. We serviced about 10 congregations that way so that they could just know that they weren't alone. And then since the money has been coming in, we've been able to give out major grants as well. We've already, just this last week, we're able to release our first round of funding. We've given out over $100,000 to congregations. The hardest hit congregations that we know of at the moment are Asheville, North Carolina, Augusta, Georgia, Black Mountain, North Carolina, Hendersonville, North Carolina, and St. Petersburg, Florida. We do not yet know what the damage is that Milton has, because it takes people a while to figure out what are they going to need, what will their insurance cover, what will they be doing, what else they will need. But just as an example, a couple of years ago, one of our congregations in Florida flooded after a hurricane. They had given up their flood insurance a couple years before, because for some reason the $50,000 a year premium for that insurance was something they could not manage in their budget. And so this is the way that we can stock each other's barns. Let me tell you 2 stories, and these ones will make me cry if nothing else will. Our congregation in Susquehanna Valley in Pennsylvania, they suffered damage from Sandy several years ago. Since that time, they had put money aside in a fund to be able to help out others. This 90-member congregation had amassed $12,000. in that fund, and they voted to give $10,000 of it to this relief effort. Our congregation in the Virgin Islands has also suffered hurricane damage and has received funds. Those 24 members sent us $5,000. It is just astonishing to see the generosity. And so I thank you for allowing me to give your hope to our fellow co-religionists. Thank you.
Please join me in giving thanks for all that sustains us. From the countless gifts we each have been given, gifts of life and love and sustenance, we bring these small portions to share in the works of love, which none of us can accomplish alone.
This is a community that supports one another. One of the ways that we do this is by taking time when we gather for worship to lift up the joys, sorrows, and milestones of our lives. So if you have something you want to share with our community today, if you're on Zoom, I invite you to type it into the chat box. If you're here in person, I invite you to come forward, place a stone in our bowl of water, speak briefly, and remember to tell us your name. Joys and sorrows in our wider community and our wider world. Sources of reason and radiance, sources of courage and compassion, keep watch with those who work or watch or weep this day. May the suffering be soothed, may the weary find rest, may the sick be tended, may the dying and those who love them find peace, and may the joyous be shielded. And may all of us know that we are wrapped in a love that surrounds us always, a web that connects us to all that exists. Our words for meditation today are a blessing for our bodies. So if you feel comfortable, I invite you to place a gentle touch on the parts of the body as I go through this blessing, or just think about and send good wishes to that part of your body. So we begin with our foreheads, if that feels comfortable for you. May you be blessed with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. May your intellect take you far on your journey. You have been blessed with reason and free will. It is your call every day to use these gifts. Now, our throats. May you be blessed with voice. May you learn the complex nature of truth-telling. The ability to speak the truth in love is something that requires honesty, empathy, and care. You are challenged every day to seek the joy that comes with sharing your truth compassionately, as well as listening to others. Now our hearts. May your heart be full and blessed with love, May you know the agony of heartbreak as it is intertwined with the elation of true love. Your heart is a strong and resilient organ, one that will be with you until the end of your time on earth. May you heed the wisdom of your heart and always trust the truth it tells. Now place your hand on your abdomen. You are blessed with the gift of sexuality. May you always remember that you are a beloved child of God. Your body is sacred and belongs to you alone. May you live into the full expression of your identity as a human being, embracing your true sexual and gender identity. The gift of sexuality brings with it many rewards as well as great responsibility. May you always retain power over your own being, striving towards mutually fulfilling and just relationship. Now, hands. When you were a baby, your tiny hands were your first contact with the world. Before you could see more than a few feet in front of your face, you grasped the finger of your loved ones. You catch yourself with your hands when you fall and express your love and comfort to others with them too. May your hands be gentle and strong. May you use them to carry light into the darkness and rest to the weary. May your hands find the place of greatest need, beginning with your own, and may the Creator of all things hold you in the palm of her hand wherever you go. And now for your body as a whole, so if there's a place that needs a gentle touch, please find that on your body. May you be blessed on your journey. May you remember that growth happens on the journey and that you are never alone. May you always remember that you are a whole person, that each of these parts work together. We offer our blessings upon your body, mind, and spirit. May you be guided by compassion and truth, justice and love. May you find rest on the journey, always remembering where you came from, being mindful that your ancestors stand behind you, whether we are present on earth or have gone back to the soul of the world. May you be blessed in all things and carry blessings with you wherever you go.
I invite you to do a little stretch upward. There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding all. We rest in this love. We'll start with this side. There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding all. We rest in this love. One more time. There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding all. We rest in love.
Our first reading today is from the Christian scriptures. It is part of a letter written nearly 2,000 years ago from the Apostle Paul to one of the first groups of Jesus followers in Corinth, Greece. 1 Corinthians 13, 1 through 7. If I speak in the tongues of mortals and of angels, but do not have love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. And if I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith so as to remove mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give away all my possessions, and if I hand over my body so that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient, love is kind. Love is not envious or boastful or arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but rejoices in the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Our second reading is by contemporary American poet Ross Gay. How to fall in love with your father. Put your hands beneath his armpits, bend your knees. Wait for the clasp of his thinning arms, the best lock cheek to cheek. Move slow. Do not right now. Recall the shapes he traced yesterday on your back, moments before being wheeled to surgery. Do not pretend the anxious calligraphy of touch was signed beyond some unspeakable animal stammer. Do not go back further into the landscape of silence you both tended with body and breath until it nearly obscured all but the genetic gravity between you. And do not imagine wind now blowing that landscape into a river which spills into a sea, because it doesn't. That's not this love poem. In this love poem, the son trains himself on the task at hand, which is simple, which is, finally, the only task he has ever had, which is lifting the Father to his feet.
And our third reading today is from See No Stranger, a memoir and a manifesto of revolutionary love by Valerie Kaur, a contemporary Sikh American activist, lawyer, and filmmaker. She writes, "Love is a form of sweet labor, fierce, bloody, imperfect, and life-giving, a choice we make over and over again. Love as labor can be taught, modeled, and practiced. This labor engages all our emotions. Joy is the gift of love. Grief is the price of love. Anger protects that which is loved. And when we think we have reached our limit, wonder is the act that returns us to love. Revolutionary love is the choice to labor for others, for our opponents, and for ourselves in order to transform the world around us. It begins with wonder. You are a part of me I do not yet know. It is not a formal code or prescription, but an orientation to life that is personal and political, sustained by joy. Loving only ourselves is escapism. Loving only our opponents is self-loathing. Loving only others is ineffective. All three practices together make love revolutionary, and revolutionary love can only be practiced in community.
I invite you to stretch upward for our next song. Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night. If you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot speak before thousands, you can give from deep within you. You can change the world with your love. Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night.
Love is patient. Love is kind. Many of us have heard these words before, likely at a wedding, maybe even at your wedding. This is definitely one of the top 5 or so readings for Christian weddings, or for weddings of people who are trying to appease Christian members of their family. And this might make you think that Paul, one of the earliest leaders of Christian communities, was writing about romantic love when he wrote these words. But he wasn't. These words are part of a long letter to the church in Corinth. It's a letter not about the commitments of marriage, but the commitments of congregational life, of being a religious community together, of being church. The church in Corinth was started around the year 50 of the Common Era, about 20 years after Jesus died, and Paul was one of its founders. Corinth was a Roman colonial capital in Greece. So it was this big port city with lots of people from all across the Roman Empire. And the church reflected that diversity. The earliest Christians converted from the Roman religion and from Judaism. They had a lot of different ethnic backgrounds. They were of many social statuses. And Paul helped them start a church. And then he traveled on to start churches elsewhere. And within a few years, things kind of started to go off the rails at this church in Corinth. The people didn't know how to be community together. Their religion was brand new. This is before the Gospels had been written down. So this was a Christianity unlike anything I think we can really imagine. They didn't have much. And the Corinthians fought about what they would do in worship. They fought about food, because when they would get together, the rich people got to eat more at their common meals than the poor people. They fought about sexual ethics. Was it more faithful to be married or single and celibate? If someone believed all the right things, did their sexual behavior even matter? And so in the midst of all these fights, the church sent a letter to Paul asking for help. A bit like we might reach out to our UUA congregational life staff when we're faced with a challenge. And the letter Paul sent back is full of advice on worship, on food, on sexuality, and he adds some additional guidance about how to be church. those words that Donna read earlier. So let's listen to them again, knowing that they are advice for a church that's in the midst of a big series of fights. If I speak in the tongues of mortals and of angels, but do not have love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. And if I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith so as to remove mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give away all my possessions, and if I hand over my body so that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient, love is kind, love is not envious or boastful or arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but rejoices in the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Paul calls this fighting church to turn to love, to put love at the center of their community. And notice that Paul doesn't write about what love feels like. He writes about loving practices. When we act out of love, we are patient, kind, hopeful. If we're good speakers, if we are wise, faithful, generous, or brave, it doesn't matter if our actions are not rooted in love. And of course, no human being is loving in every moment. But loving is a way of being, not a state of being. Love is something we do, a choice we make over and over and over again. And of course, this one letter did not solve all of the drama. Paul continued to write letters and visit the church in Corinth to help them figure out how to be a community. And over time, these letters were copied and shared, and communities beyond Corinth found Paul's letters valuable. The letters were read and memorized, and in time, 2 of his letters, or at least portions of his letters that were cobbled together to become 2 letters, the scholarship is kind of unclear, became holy text to Christians and part of the New Testament, read and repeated, sometimes at weddings, sometimes on Sunday mornings, and at other times. And then almost 2,000 years after this text was written, a young American black girl found Paul's words about love in her Bible, and it shaped her life, offering a vision of love that was truer than how people acted in her family. Her parents said they loved her, but they were abusive. The words about love were a revelation, an affirmation of what she knew was true. Love was not violent or cruel, and even the Bible agreed with her. That girl grew up to be Bell Hooks, an American educator, social critic, and author who wrote a masterful book called All About Love, New Visions, that builds and expands on many of the ideas from Paul and challenges a variety of them as well. Hooks offers us a powerful definition of love. Building on some others' work, she defines love as the will to extend oneself for the purpose of nurturing one's or another's spiritual growth. She offers caveats for those who struggle with the word spiritual, explaining that if spiritual growth doesn't work for you, perhaps you can think of the self or the life force or the soul, that thing that, in her words, when nurtured, enhances our capacity to be more fully self-actualized and able to engage in communion with the world around us. So love is care, active care for that piece of us that makes us us and connects to the world beyond us, and that same piece, whatever you want to call it, in others. Hooks, like Paul, urges her readers to think of love as an action. She writes, and this passage is pretty dense, but it's very good, to begin by always thinking of love as an action rather than a feeling is one way in which anyone using the word assumes accountability and responsibility. We are often taught that we have no control over our feelings, but most of us accept that we choose our actions, that intention and will form what we do. We also accept that our actions have consequences. To think of actions shaping feelings is one way we rid ourselves of conventionally accepted assumptions, such as that parents always love their children, or that one simply falls in love without exercising will or choice, or that there are such things as crimes of passion. She continues, if we were constantly remembering that love is as love does, we would not use the word in a manner that devalues or degrades its meaning. When we are loving, we are openly and honestly express care, affection, responsibility, respect, commitment, and trust. Love is as love does. If someone claims that they love you while preventing your flourishing, it is not love. Love is an act of will and intention that we choose over and over and over again. And then we fall short, because of course we do. That is the human condition, to fall short of our highest aspirations. And then we choose love again. This summer, the Unitarian Universalist Association adopted a new statement of values that includes the passage that Donna read while DeForest lit our chalice this morning. Love is the power that holds us together and is at the center of our shared values. We are accountable to one another for doing the work of living our shared values through the spiritual discipline of love. And while these are new words for us, love at the center is not a new idea. The most common word in our gray hymnal, which is where most of our hymns come from, even though we just put them up on the screen for you all, after you take out the thes and the ises, is love. And this hymnal has been our hymnal for 30 years. We have been singing ourselves stories about love for a long time. And our music staff were so delighted when I said we're talking about love this week, because we have so many good options. And so we narrowed it down just to the ones that echo the text from 1 Corinthians. We sing about love here all the time. We aspire to be people of love. And we know that this world is far from the world we dream about. We hope for a world of justice and equity and care for the planet, a world where every being has what they need to flourish. And we know that this world has war and hatred, rising fascism here in our country and elsewhere. And the only good thing I know about a world with so much pain is that there are so many opportunities for love. The wise ones tell us that intimacy is what love looks like in private. There's a beautiful example of that in the poem that Donna read, the Rosquet poem of a man caring for his father, tending to his body with gentleness. And there are beautiful examples of this in so many of our lives, caring for the fragile bodies and fragile spirits of one another, doing the hard work on ourselves to break patterns of abuse and pain, saying yes to patience and kindness, even when it is hard, especially when it is hard, over and over and over again, forgiving ourselves when we fall short and continuing on. This choosing of love in quiet moments when we are our only witness matters so much. It is the quiet remaking of the world. And the wise ones continue saying that justice is what love looks like in public. That's the thread that Valerie Carr follows in the passage I read earlier from a book that a people's person recommended to me last month. Revolutionary love is that choice to labor for others, for our opponents, and for ourselves in order to transform the world around us. It begins with wonder. You are a part of me I do not yet know. Love looks like knowing that we are all connected, and having that knowing remind us that it is worth having hard heart conversations with people who might not think like us. Love looks like marches and phone calls to elected officials and showing up for the Isaac public meeting this Thursday. Love looks like the efforts of so many of us are engaged in this election cycle in this swing state. And knowing that the work will not end with this election. Because one election is neither our ruin nor our redemption. Remember that. The outcome of this election matters, but the world will not be remade or unmade through one vote. Love looks like pacing ourselves because we know that the work of justice is long-haul work, a relay race. Love looks like being rooted in our values. Love is refusing to demonize anyone. Love looks like making our efforts for love and justice so full of joy that others can't help but join in. This is a lot. The world needs so much love. It helps to remember that we are not in this work alone. We have each other and so many other people of love, people of hope, people of change in this world. We each are called, I believe, to love the part of the world that we can reach. Whether that's in the quiet love that is intimacy or the public love that is justice. In all of it, we remake the world. So find your place. Do your loving work. Be patient, be kind, and choose love over and over and over again. May it be so. May we make it so. Amen.
One last time, I invite you to rise in body or spirit to sing together. Just as long as I have breath, I must answer yes to life. Though with pain I made my way, still with hope I meet each day. If they ask what I did well, tell them I said yes to life. Just as long as vision lasts, I must answer yes to truth. In my dream and in my dark, always that elusive spark. If they ask what I did well, tell them I said yes to truth. Just as long as my heart beats, I must answer yes to love. Disappointment pierced me through, still I kept on loving you. If they ask what I did best, tell them I said yes to love.
And for the final words today, I turn to the end of Paul's first letter to the Corinthians and to words that my predecessor, Jill McAllister, said to you all often. Keep alert, stand firm in your faith, be courageous, be strong. Let all you do be done in love. Let us go in peace and go in love.